and welcome this morning. For this practice, you want to go ahead and either have your journal with you if you're somebody who has a journal, or take a moment. If you're watching this on a replay and you don't have a journal, look below here. There's going to be, if you find the description box and you see a little button that says more, click on the more and click on the more again. And then you're going to see some links come up, and those links are going to give you access to the PDF that I'm using to navigate through this practice. Every practice, we are strength training our brain's awareness to be paying attention to how the body allows experience to flow through it and be expressed in a way that actually leads you to resilience. And there are specific steps and specific things that our brain needs to look at in our body and make space for in order for that to happen. And that worksheet gives you those specific steps. So you don't have to buy a journal if you're not in a place where you can do that easily in this moment. You can get it on Amazon. They do ship it usually within about 2 days. However, you don't have to wait for your workbook to get started. You can go ahead and print out that PDF and have that with you. And also, if you can't afford a workbook, you can print that PDF out. You can laminate that, and you can just have that along with you with just a simple 3-ring binder and just go through answering the questions that way. But that will be your guide. And God wants me to make sure that that's available to anybody and everybody, and that there is no financial barrier between you and the power of your nervous system being able to receive the purpose that God has for your life. Whether you are believing in a Christian God or you're believing in a spiritual neutral God, whatever you name that God, your nervous system is designed for you to be able to receive it and to receive the power that comes along so that you can access your purpose in your lifetime. So buckle up. Let's do this together. I'm going to walk you through this. This is a thorough exercise of your nervous system and a thorough receptivity of how you are supported by the divine. If this is your first time taking this practice, just be patient with yourself. It's just like if it would be your first day at the gym. I'm going to take you through the thorough exercise, and there may be parts where you notice you might have some weakness or don't really understand fully what I'm saying. Just stay with me, because even the process of letting the brain start to look at our body in a new way and look at our experience in a new way begins to move you closer to building this capacity. In today's class, we're going to go through some exercise on the paper. We're going to go through some movement with percussion. If you're listening to this on a replay and you have a percussion tool, push pause and go ahead and grab that and then come on back. You want to make sure that you have something to write on, that you have maybe some colors you can use to help you articulate what it is that you're feeling in your own body, and that you want to have some space to stretch, because we're going to add a rest practice into this one here today. This is a complete morning routine. This is what you would do when you wake up in the morning. We do this live every single day at 5:30 a.m. If you want to join us live, there's also a link below that you can join the 5:30 a.m. class. And we also do an evening practice to end your day, connecting back to that mystery of God's living love and purpose for you so that you can sleep in a state of peace. The link to join that live is also there. Both of those classes there is no charge for that, because again, God wants to make this available to everybody, with financial issues not being a barrier to you and developing this amazing relationship. So let's go ahead and begin together. I'm going to walk you through it. Again, you can always work with me privately if you ever have any questions or want me to help you learn more about this, but just be with us and watch what begins to unfold for your system. So we begin by taking a moment right where we are, and we want to take a moment to notice, where does your body feel the most supported by the place that you are seated? Take a moment and notice. You want to turn your attention inside and notice how your body is held by your seat. And as you are noticing how you are held by your seat, you want to take a moment to recognize which part of your body feels the most held by your seat. So we're going to go ahead and write down that body part into our journal. For me, it was my right elbow. So sometimes if I'm like have my arms connected to something, maybe the side of a chair, or if I'm leaning onto a table, there might be another point of connection that actually feels the most connected. So for me, it's my right elbow. Just notice what it is for you. That's your body part. You want to write that down and you want to circle that. And we're saying, this is where, we're letting our brain look at it again. We're saying, this is where I am already the most connected, right where I am seated. This is where I am already the most connected, right where I am seated. And then from that place, we want to take a moment and notice, what does that quality of support feel like to you? You might see a word or an image. See if you can articulate, what does that feel like for your seat or the surfaces that you are connected to be holding you? You want to go ahead and write that down into your journal. That quality of support is the quality of support that actually engages your parasympathetic part of your nervous system, the part that actually integrates, rests, digests, and allows you to be present with a moment. So as you take a moment, you're going to look at that and you're saying, this, for me, I felt the word firm. This firmness belongs to me. This is what God is giving me. That's the quality of support God is giving me. Notice what you feel in the place where you are seated. What is your word? And we're letting our brain feel that. And letting our body take that in. And then we're just going to really slowly, this just helps our nervous system stretch out. You're going to turn your head as far as you can to the right, and you're looking at the walls of the room that you're in, and you're turning your head all the way to the left, looking at the walls of the room that you're in. Really, really slow. And then you're going to turn back to the right and look up to the back corner of the ceiling. Slow, be very slow. You're just looking at the space that you're in. And then to the left back corner of the ceiling. And now even slower and softer, you're going to look down and look to the lower, to the floor, where the wall meets the floor. And then even slower yet, slower, slower, slower. Each move, you're just getting slower and slower. You're looking back to the left-hand corner, extremely slow, and coming back down in. And then taking a moment again and refreshing your awareness of that quality of support that's being provided. And we're saying this experience belongs to me. And then from that place, we want to take a moment and think about what is on your mind and what is in your heart today. What is something that you are facing that is heavy on your mind or on your heart? Maybe it's a challenge you're facing. Maybe it's a conflict or some other physical challenge that you have. We're going to take a moment and we're going to write that down into our journal underneath the space for the challenge I'm having. Go ahead and write that down. And then we're going to take a moment and we're just going to reach your arms up over your head and bring them back down We're going to do that a few times, a little softer this next time. Be thinking about the challenge that you're facing. And imagine that this challenge, you can feel it come into your body. You feel that aliveness of that. When I'm reaching and stretching, I want that to move into my whole body. I want to fully feel that challenge all the way through my arms. And you can even lift and walk your legs. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So I can feel maybe some anxiety when I think about the challenge I'm facing today. I want to lift my knees and walk them, but I'm not doing it to push that challenge out. I'm doing it to let that come alive in me. And I'm moving my limbs as slowly as I can to just say, this challenge belongs to me today. And then refresh your awareness of the support that you're getting in the seat. Both the challenge and the quality of support, they both belong to you. And what we're doing is we're bringing them into relationship with each other in our body in a conscious and active and gentle way. So again, we're just lifting our feet. And I can even open and close my hands. Everything is gentle. Everything is about coming in. I don't want to push anything out. I want to bring everything in. I don't know if you know or not, but God made your physiology so powerful that it actually integrates, metabolizes, it eats every experience, both the experiences that are challenging and the experiences that feel good. And our nervous system is designed to eat those challenges. And when combined with how we are supported by the mystery of the divine, we become something new. But I have to have both of those parts, both the part that is challenging me and the part that is supporting me. Arms overhead, knees marching. Okay, now come back. We want to take a moment. Let your mind revisit, what does that quality of support feel like right now? Take a moment. Notice your word and see if you can draw that, what the Holy Spirit feels like. Draw it on your little body diagram. Draw that. What does that feel like now? Good. And then you want to take a moment and draw, what does the challenge feel like? Where does that come alive in the body? Let's draw that. Really good. If you feel, as we're going through this process, that you feel like these waves of overwhelm or waves of exhaustion, or maybe you feel a little paralyzed, just very slowly do the same thing that we started with, which it is reach my arms up, very tenderly reach my arms down. That allows my biochemistry to flow and spread out into my system so my body can eat what is alive more easily. So it doesn't get like, it's like almost like sometimes I might take a huge bite of food and it's like I can't swallow that big bite of food. I have to like chew it for a little bit. Well, this is what we do with our arms and our legs to help our nervous system chew the experience that is happening. Okay. Okay, so let's go in. Now we're going to go in two parts to this. You have 7 regions where you experience your experiences. I refer to this as your emotional sensory core. That includes, place your hands on your head, how my brain sees it. So my hands are on my head. This is the first part of my emotional sensory core. This is the first place that I'm going to be taking in an experience, what I see. Put your hands down on your mouth. This is the second one, how I speak about it. What am I going to say about this experience? The third part, how I behave. Am I moving towards it? Am I moving away from it? Am I frozen? Or am I linking my arms with the power and mystery of God, that Christ divine, that mystery of consciousness? Am I linking my arms with that mystery and walking into that mystery purposed, empowered, rested, and clear. One of the 4 ways. I'm going to be going at it, trying to control it myself alone. I'm going to be paralyzed by it, not sure what to do. I'm going to be avoidant from it, or I'm going to be consciously with the mystery of the divine walking into my purpose in regards to that challenge. Which way do I do that? That's going to come alive in my behavior. Then there's going to be, how do I breathe about it? That's what, like the next one lower. So you see, head, seeing it, speaking it, behaving with it, breathing with it. Then I go down further. The top of my abdomen is like, oh, I'm sorry, I missed one. Your heart level, your emotions and your sensations. How do I feel about it? Most of the time, when we're living in an unconscious state, we're really moving from how my head sees it and how I feel about it. Boom, 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 all day long. That's really unconsciously what we're going to be doing instinctively. Then we're going to come down past the breathing. How do I breathe when I see it? What has it been like in the past? I'm holding my upper belly. And what is it going to be like in the future? I'm holding my lower belly. What do I think is going to happen? How is that going to change how secure I am in the world and how capable I am to standing into my purpose? All of that information along your emotional sensory core happens with every experience that you have. Some of them I am on autopilot. So my nervous system has already made a decision about whether it's safe for me to do something or not safe for me to do something. So if I'm in a state of unconsciousness and moving really fast through my life, I'm going to be moving very limited and exhausted because I'm not able to connect with, why is this experience here? How is this a part of my purpose? I'm just going to be moving through life limited. And you'll know that that's happening for you if you feel depressed, overwhelmed, or having emotional anxiety, PTSD, depressions, limitations, where you're not feeling fulfilled. Every time I'm not feeling fulfilled, that's an indication that somewhere I'm walking alone, I'm walking limited. Okay? So these are the areas that we're going to pay attention to today. And first, we're going to pay attention to how we have done it. And then I'm going to guide you through how to connect with what does God have in store for you and how do you receive the support into these areas so that you can navigate the challenge that you have alive for you today with a fresh new approach and with rest and with the capacity and the power that God's giving you to move forward. You do not have to walk on your own alone anymore. So let's look back at that challenge. Let's lift our arms up again. What is that challenge that is for me today? What is the challenge I have for me today? Arms up and down, marching the little. You see yourself in that challenge. So what do you see yourself doing? For me, I can see myself being a little overwhelmed by the challenge I'm being invited to face today. So I'm going to write that down. Notice what you're feeling like as you're looking at yourself facing into the challenge. What do you see? Mm-hmm. And you're filling that into line number 2 on the worksheet. Then we go underneath, how do you speak about it? Line number 2, this is us. Number 2 is us. Number 3, how do I behave when I'm facing into that challenge? What is it that I do, find myself doing? How do I behave when I'm facing into that challenge? Number 3, what are the emotions or the sensations that come up? And when you're looking at that emotion and sensation, you want to notice where does that happen, and you want to be able to draw that on your little body diagram. So for me, in my body diagram, the yellow was the support of the Holy Spirit, and the challenge is this little green and black fuzziness that's in my emotional sensory core. I can feel that I'm getting a little anxious to do what I'm being invited to do, so I feel that fuzziness coming in. Notice what you feel. There's no wrong way to do this, and we just want to jot it down. It does not have to be perfect. This is not about winning an art contest. This is about your experience. So take a moment and just jot down what you feel. And you want to name it. If you're watching this on the replay and you feel like I'm going too fast, just put me on pause and go back and take your time. Take your time with this. You deserve to have time to articulate your experience. For those of you now, you may have pushed play and we're ready to go to the next one. Notice how your breathing reacts. When you reread that challenge, do you hold your breath? Do you breathe really shallow? Do you breathe with like a more anxious breath? Notice how your breathing responds. And in the past, when you have faced a similar challenge, how do you navigate that? And in your present challenge, how does that make you, what does that make you think is going to happen in the future? So like, this thing is present for me today. Oh, that makes me think like, oh, it's going to always be this way. Why? Like, what is it that comes up into your experience when you think about what's going to happen in the future because this challenge is happening to me today? Sometimes it's a quality of hopelessness. Sometimes it's a quality of fear. Sometimes it's a quality of hope and excitement. All of them are meant to be held and embodied. So notice what your quality of challenge is. What does it make you think is going to happen in the future? Okay. Now we're going to take a moment again. You want to just give yourself a nice little hug. You have just completed showing up as vulnerably as you can today. You've just completed articulating your vulnerability and what you're actually feeling. The more you do this practice, the better and better you're going to get at that. But really what you just did is you just did a vulnerable embodiment of the challenge that you're facing. So take a moment. You can even rub your heart, rub your head. We're saying, good job, nervous system. It's safe to express how I'm feeling so that I can move into relationship with what does God want me to do versus me trying to navigate my world and fix this on my own. I want to be able to move through this with God. So now we're going into step number 3, and this is the fun part. Number 2 is the hard part. Number 3 is the fun part. So you want to take a moment and just notice, I just totally said what I'm feeling, and now I want to direct this conversation to God, the God of my understanding, the God that serves me, walks with me, provides for me. I want to be speaking to that living God. If you are a Christian, you are speaking directly to Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, and to God's living heart. That's who I'm speaking to, but just notice what you're speaking to. If you're spiritual neutral, you're speaking into that source mystery. You're speaking into that consciousness. Okay? Here's the thing, guys. How we intuit that back, how we intuit who we are talking to is the same in our nervous system. We are all going to intuit in like one of 7 ways. You're going to get an image of it. You're going to hear a word. You're going to hear a voice. You're going to feel a sensation. You're going to feel a smell. You're going to have an impression on your heart. We all intuit in 1 or 3 very specific ways. So no matter what you're semantically connected to, how you hear that is a function of your nervous system. Okay? So you really stand in what yours is. And if we're really here to be unified together as one, I'm holding space for your broad experience, and you can learn to hold space for my Christian experience. So neither one of us are making the other do what the other is doing, but we are coming together as a whole, connecting to a heart of God that each of us have a connection to, and that each of us are going to be receiving information from. This is a very important practice when it comes to healing our planet right now. We have to learn how to be with each other in this space, okay? So I'm making space for you, and I encourage you to practice making space for me. Okay, now all of us are no longer looking at each other and what everybody else is doing. Now we are directing our attention to God, okay? The God that you serve. I'm saying, God, here's how I see myself in this challenge. I'm directing my attention to that, God. Here's how I see myself in that challenge. Hold your sweet little brain with your hands, and you are facing into God, and you're speaking your challenge into God. And we're holding our sweet little brains for 1 to 2 minutes to hear, what do you intuit back? Let's do that together. Let's learn this and go deeper together. You're really allowing how your brain sees it to be held. You're literally holding your sweet little brain, and you're noticing what begins to unfold or be presented to you. And then you're going to take a moment and write down, what is the response. Now here's the trick with this one. When you write down this response, you want to write your name. So we are on facing our challenge right now. We just held our brains in the support that God's giving us. Now we are interpreting and intuiting a response, but God is speaking to you personally. God is speaking to you. So when you go to write in line number 3 underneath your brain, write your name. And then write what impression came to you. All right. What I like to do, I'm either using a second pen color in that, but today I don't have a second color of my pen. So what I do is I highlight that, because that's my takeaway. That's what I'm standing on. That's how I'm moving forward. So when I'm looking at my diagram, I'm writing, Adrian, blah, 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 blah. This is what God's telling me. That's for me. You can't see it. That's for mine. You're getting your own. But I highlight that so that I can refer back to that tonight in the evening practice and see, how did I do there? Did I pick that up, that message? Did I stand in that when I faced into the challenges of my day today? I maybe did it 10%. That's great. I have 90% to grow. I'll talk to God about that tonight. But I want to be able to be very clear. God is speaking to me. And every day when I practice this, you guys, 90 days, 90 times you're coming in and you're hearing this message, 90 times 7, so that your brain can start to understand that you are not alone. And everybody that you are in relationship with is also not alone. God's trying to speak something into their life. And that's not something you can tell them that what it is. They have to hear it from God because we don't know. It's a secret message. God's whispering in our ears for us. Okay? So circle your little name saying, this is for me. I can trust my intuition. And the more I trust it, it's going to grow in my relationship, in my connection. Step 2, how have you been speaking about this challenge when you face into it? You're holding your sweet little mouth and how you've done it as you've done it on your own. And we're facing into the heart of God that we know. And I'm saying, God, this is what I've been doing. This is how I speak about it. And then what does God say? Write your name. What did God whisper to you? What impression did God leave in your heart? Write your name down and then write the response. All right, behavior. Let me give you guys a little secret. You do not have to feel ashamed or guilty or prideful or avoidant about how you have behaved. Every day, we're going to behave with a bunch of our own human shenanigans, and we're bringing that to God for refinement. That's going to be an ever-going process. We're never fully there. So really let yourself just hold, here's my shenanigans, God. This is what I do when I come into relationship with this quality of challenge. This is what I do. Facing into the heart of God, and you're saying, here is me fully. And how does God respond to you? And you want to write that down. Don't forget your name. This is between you and God. What is God revealing to you? All right, the emotions and the sensations. You want to put your sweet little hands right on where your body is going through that. The emotion and the sensation that come together, that's the most intense part of experience. So think of like if a baby is crying, you're picking up and you're holding that baby and you're caring for that baby because they're feeling intensity or they're needing something intensely. It's the same thing for us. Our little nervous systems are like little babies. So when you feel the quality of experience that's coming alive, you're holding that just like you would hold a little baby. You're saying, here's how I do. The two I'm feeling today are fatigue and nervousness. Here's how I'm holding this fatigue and nervousness. And I'm saying, God, I am tired and I am nervous about what you're asking me to do, about where I'm being led. And I'm honestly saying that into the heart of God. What are you feeling? Speak that into the heart of God. So there is a cue in your nervous system. If you are still feeling the intensity at the same level as when you started and you're on the replay, push pause until you feel it settle. What we are looking for, I want to hold that emotion and that sensation tenderly facing into the heart of God until my body takes this organic deep breath. I'm not trying to breathe to make it happen. Actually, that will actually mess it up. So don't try to breathe to manufacture that happening. My nervous system will encourage this very deep and complete breath on its own when it has eaten the biochemistry and the intensity of that experience, and it takes it from sympathetic and it shifts it into the parasympathetic side of my nervous system. That is where integration begins, and that's where resiliency begins. Because I take this aliveness from pushing me away from God, and then what it does is it draws me into God's rest. I have to hold that emotion and I have to hold that sensation tenderly so that there is enough time for that conversion to happen. Physiologically, it will always happen. The thing that interrupts that is that I don't give it enough time. So if you're still looking at that word and the emotion and the sensation and you still feel it's pretty intense in there, push pause and hold it. Set your phone timer for 5 minutes and then watch what happens. Do not try to contrive that deep breath. It will happen on its own. And the more you practice this and the more you do it, the more you'll see that it actually happens. This is how our nervous system functions. And the only thing that keeps us from that is time and space to actually do it. You can count on this as much as you can count on your God. And both of those relationships are going to grow as you practice this very thorough relational exercise with your nervous system that we have here. So notice what that feels like. And as you look at that fatigue and nervousness, mine, look at your own. What is God telling you about what you are experiencing, the emotion and the sensation? Take a moment and listen. Write your name and then write the response. All right, coming to the breathing. How do you breathe? Look at now when you're looking at the challenge again, notice how even just going through this process of holding the intensity, listening to God, notice how your breath reaction is already different. You want to hold your lungs, and you're going to be feeling how the sides of your arms are holding nicely your lungs, kind of like a hug. You're holding the top of your lungs with your fingertips. We're facing into the heart of God that we serve, the heart of God that supports and provides for us, that has all gotten us to this day that we are in today. And we're saying, here's how I breathe when I'm facing into this challenge. Notice God's response to that. And you're going to write down your response. Don't forget your name. God is speaking directly to you all day long if you turn your head towards and listen. Highlight your answer. All right, in the past, here's where God's saying, okay, complain to me, tell me all of it. Now that you're facing into me, let me know, what has this been like in the past for you? You have to be able to articulate that to God so God can do something new with it. Me bringing that forward to God and saying, this is what's going on, puts me in a position for something new to happen. If I hide that over here in resentment, not sharing that with God, nothing can change because I'm really believing that nothing can change. So we are taking this courageous step. You're pivoting to God and you're saying, I have a lot of experience in this not working, and I'm not so sure that I want to move forward with you here. That's what God needs you to come and say. Or something more aggressive than that, or something less aggressive from that. It's going to be wherever you're at with that today. However, that step, because your past has been your lived experience with this, and we have to bring that. We're not trying to push that away. We are bringing that to God for God to do something new with us. So bringing that to God, and we're saying, this is my deal. This is what I firmly stand in because this is what I know. I am opening myself up to you, and I halfway trust it. I fully trust it. I don't trust it. Where are you at with that? Tell that to the heart of God, and then watch what happens. All of ourself is allowed to be in this relationship, okay? So hold your sweet little head or your heart wherever you see yourself carrying your past. And then you want to write down your response. As you guys grow in this practice, you're going to have one of those, or maybe sometimes two or three of those deep integrative breaths at every single stage. That means that I'm coming into alignment. into alignment, into alignment, into alignment. My nervous system is processing all of the separation through every single region of the emotional sensory core. This makes you very strong in your nervous system and very capable to be with the world in a way that is bringing peace and capacity to the world. So if you're not getting that deep integrative breath, the only thing keeping you from that is the time. If you don't have time right now, go and do something, push pause on this and come back and hold that until you feel that settling in, that integrating of the nervous system eating it. This is where we stand in the power of Christ, of our living God. That is a mystery. We're all going to name it something different. Do not let yourself get stuck there, because that is nonsense that is separating us right now. We don't have time for that right now. Focus on your own practice and what it means to you and stand in that. And then go forth in the world and share that, because this is a living piece that everybody needs. And we're being disillusioned to think we need to fight over what we call it. Who cares? I know what I call it. I call it the living Jesus Christ, and that's enough for me. Whatever it is for you, I'm confident that that's enough for you. Period. Don't let yourself not receive this because we're getting caught up in this lie that we all have to do it exactly the same. None of us have the same haircut or the car or the house or the family structure. Everything is different. Your relationship with God is different and unique to you, and it is perfect. So look at your present challenge, and you're noticing, how does this make me think my future is going to unfold? So this is where I'm really sharing with God my worry, my because this has happened and this is going to keep happening. It's like more of complaining, right? God's saying, these are the questions you got to come to with yourself so that you can fully bring yourself to me. So he's sitting here for more of this complaining, more of this, here's what I see, because we can't see what God can see. But I need to be able to name to him what I can see so that what I see can be changed. You see? It's pretty simple. So we're going to go ahead and say what we see to God in this. I think this is going to happen because this is unfolding. Let's go ahead and do that together now. And then you're going to write your response in there. All right. Now we come to the place where we're saying, what is the feeling I feel? In the beginning, I felt, let's look back at that. In the beginning, I felt my support was, name your support. You're going to circle that. That was the power that made my nervous system feel safe enough to do this practice. That opens my nervous system. Just take a moment, let your brain see that. That's where I started. And then we want to take a moment and look at, what is the challenge I was facing? What did that feel like now? What does that feel like now? What is the word of that? How does that change? So different. We want to write that down. First of all, even just in this process, my nervous system now feels like, notice your word. Let's hear just this word, the nervous system, what it feels like right now, just this word, not a story, from the people who are here on the class with me. What word do you feel your nervous system has led you to? What do you feel now compared to when you started? I started with nervousness and fatigue, and now I feel, after going through this process, I feel capable. What do you feel?
Acceptance.
Acceptance. There we go. And how about the other participant who's here live? What do you feel?
I'm actually I had to go have a lap drawn, and so I jumped in way late. So I'm just kind of auditing. I'm just listening. I'm not fully participating because I can't right now.
So notice, I don't want to put the word in there, but notice that choice that you made to still hang on, even though you have other things going. What does that feel like for you?
Oh, it feels incredibly strong. It feels,
yeah.
I was sitting in that lab and I looked around and I saw on one of the boxes, Waymaker. I thought, what? I know that word. I was looking for that word the other day. And then, of course, the song came to me.
Yeah.
So on the way home, I played that song. And
Yeah.
it gives me, it's confirmation and confidence.
Yeah.
And immense gratitude.
Yeah. So guys, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Have this excitement of this is really working.
Yeah.
I am standing in my own way, and when I have these doubts, I need to get to, okay, where is that doubt in my nervous system?
And how do I hold it and let God help me with it? Yeah. How do I let it be reparented? So guys, you can see this is so important. This participant is getting labs drawn and still logs on and is taking whatever little bits, and then in the room is getting information from God speaking to her through reading what's highlighted on a box, through feeling the strength coming and the capacity to be there. This does not have to be we're sitting and doing this. You can push pause and play. I have another participant that went through, it took her an entire day to get through the practice because she kept having to take the kids here and then drop them off, and then she's in the van at soccer, and then she's doing this, and she's pushing play and pause, but she's clinging to the thing that is the lifeblood, which is this intimate relationship with how God is speaking directly to us, okay? So take a moment and notice, we come to the culmination, to the end of the thing, and I feel capable, and then God invites us to add one more thing. And this is the most powerful thing, but you can't get this unless you've already gone through the whole other thing, for the most part. Think about, what does this mean for your life? What is the possibility that you can achieve in your day to day with Christ when you're coming from this place? What does this aliveness mean? Take a moment and see if you can answer that question. Do you guys have a word of what that means? People who are online with me, do you have a word?
It's more than a word. It's that I'm not alone. I'm never alone.
Yes, I'm never alone. So what God wants us to do, so this is like our final meaning. This is like our surge of possibility that God's giving us. It's like this is the wave God's going to carry us on through the day for this participant, even though you do have this nice space alone, because I've spoken with you this morning and now you have some space alone, but you're not alone in your aloneness. Like there's something there, there's a purpose unfolding in that time, and you're never alone. So you want to look at what God invites us to do then is bring that living purpose and bring it back to enveloping and caring for the restriction. So we're going with this final purpose, which is this aliveness. It's this meaning for our life today. And it is an actual living energy. I am never alone. There isn't a big energy that comes with that is connected. That's the power that God's giving you today to walk your purpose. So let that envelop and care for the place that you are restricted. For me, it turned into purpose. And I feel that through my whole body. And he's saying, now slow that down and really let the part of you that feels unsure and tired and nervous to receive that purpose. Other participant, what's your big word? What comes to you? First participant, or participant getting the blood draw halfway in class.
There's several things, several beautiful things. I feel such an immense sense of gratitude and strength. And
Gratitude.
there's
Go ahead, sorry.
Gratitude as well as strength, but strength coupled with confidence.
Yeah. So know that, guys, let that come together. So now what we're going to do is, how do the percussion tools and how does the movement and the rest play into all this? And we're going to do this. We're actually going to go through this a little faster here, but know that we are doing these things. It is not about the doing of it. It is about understanding how your nervous system functions so that you can receive it. So you're going to see me do it, and you're going to be doing it with me if you have a percussion tool. If you don't, you can get these on Amazon for $160. These are very simple, lightweight, easy to use percussion tools. You might even have one at your home somewhere that offers a percussion. I'm not talking about vibration tools that are used for sexual activities. I'm talking about a percussion tool that is a medical grade used for sports and rehabilitation. The link is in the video below this. The sexual ones are not a deep enough vibration that are going to offer the same amount of change in your body. Okay, so with this tool, what we're doing is we're turning it on, and you're looking at the place where you had your resistance. And we're putting the tool on our body very gently in a place near where you had your resistance, and we're letting the big experience, the purpose, the experience of I'm not alone, I'm letting that come into and care for my resistance. I'm not trying to overpower and push it out. I'm not trying to make it go away. I'm saying come forward into this possibility. The Theragun is allowing us to help our nervous system literally make space for that conversion. I'm breathing to it. I'm exhaling out from it. And it's a calling forward. It's a calling forward. It's a making safe. It's a changing the environment so that there's more room for the ways in which I am limited, for the ways in which I'm in pain, for the ways in which I'm exhausted, for the ways in which I'm blind. This is the safe space. So you're just tracing with the Theragun or whatever percussion tool you have, with whatever company you have it from, as long as it is for medical sports purposes. You need it to be that strong. Gently, gently, gently. Feel it move through your body. Think about your purpose. Think about your big gift at the end here. And we say, this day belongs to me. If you feel like when you're on the replay that you want to go further with that, push pause. Take your time. That's what that means. It's your time. So take it. If you're not ready to move on, keep doing that. And then push play and move to the next. We have 2 more things we're going to do. We're going to do one movement, which is just what we were doing in the seat. I want you guys to be able to practice this. This movement helps my nervous system eat whatever experience is present, good, bad, and the integrated. This move of moving my limbs up gently, saying this day belongs to me. This gift belongs to me. My connection with God belongs to me. It is mine. Nobody can take this from me unless I allow them to. My nervous system belongs to me. This challenge belongs to me. This is mine. And I get to walk it in peace and capacity. And I'm moving my body very gently, not to push anything out, but to bring it all in so my physiology, my nervous system can digest it, metabolize it, and put it in place, making order of it, making order of the chaos. Your body is the machine that does that. Makes order from the chaos. Thank you, God. Amazing. Okay, simple. Notice how that feels right now, just after having done the Theragun and moving your body. Participants who are live with me, what does that feel like?
I feel very alive. Yeah, just very alive.
I feel very alive, but extremely clear and calm. I don't feel excited like I normally am. I just feel capable and focused and rested. I feel more rested, even though I started out being very, very tired. Other participant, what do you feel? This participant just had a surgery yesterday on her mouth, and she's in here doing this class.
Well, that's what I wanted to say is I couldn't actually use the Theragun because I was told to wait 45 minutes after I took my, it's a natural antibiotic. So I'm waiting. But I will tell you, just even listening and, and I've actually been eating breakfast, but just listening, I'm feeling the healing. Already in my body because I'm not in the sympathetic, I'm in the parasympathetic, and I can feel my body relaxing and receiving the healing that is being offered from.
Yeah. I love it so much that you guys are on here in exactly the way that your life is allowing for that to be today, because that is the way it should be every single day. We try to come and do a practice in the morning. We try to get that done, but that is not how most people are coming to this. Some days we'll be able to do this, and that's great. And I really want people to be able to emphasize there's no barrier between you and being able to take this stuff. You can do it on the fly. You can just listen to it while you're driving, just to be connected and helping your nervous system remember, hey, I can digest everything. That's remarkable. So I just want to give you guys a big high five virtually, because that's when you're really accessing, like, I get to do this my way. This is my body, my life, my day, my God, my Holy Spirit, my gift, my purpose, and I'm going to do it the way it works for me, period. And that's when the true power of these practices really comes to life. So now we get to do the final amazing piece, which is we're going to lay down for 5 minutes. And if you guys are watching this on the replay, but you're not in a place where you can do this, push pause. When you get home and you have a moment to just lay down, you can lay down on the floor, in the grass, in the driveway, in the backyard, in the back of your car. You can lay in your bed. You can lay anywhere. But just lay down for 5 minutes and watch what's going to unfold when we do this together. I'm going to set my timer, and I'm going to turn off my audio for these 5 minutes, because I have animals that like to get rowdy right when we just get ready to go to sleep. So I'm going to turn off my audio, I'm going to lay down, and I'm going to come back up and wake you up in 5 minutes. And we're going to see what that finishing touch does for our capacity. Let's go ahead and lay down and sleep in a little bit of peace here together.